Hey guys, Sean Zinn, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, and the host for the Network Marketing Insider, where we bring guests on who are living this business model day in and day out, some from newbies to those that have been around for a while. And they're going to share some tips and tricks and strategies, some processes, maybe some ways that has worked, hasn't worked. So you can, understand and learn new ways of going about this network marketing model. For those that are watching, please, least you can do is drop a hashtag live. If you're on the live, hashtag replay on the replay. Don't forget, hit subscribe and hit that like button and share this video if you found value. And then throughout, so I know you're alive, drop a couple of emojis every once in a while so that we know you're engaging, you're still there. And if you have questions, we'll definitely answer that as well. Let me bring on my next new friend, Ray Thigpen. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, Sean. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I appreciate you, joining us, taking some time out of your busy day to drop some value.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the invite.
So I always ask, first thing, we're talking about network marketing. What got you involved in this business?
So I got involved 44 years ago, actually. I was in the Navy at the time, was home on leave. And one Tuesday, I believe it was, my sister invited all the family over to my parents' house at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night. They had something important to talk to us about. And little did I know the soap salesman was going to come in dressed in a suit and demo some soap and draw some circles. But, I saw the vision at that time, and it gave an opportunity to earn income that it's not available working a job. It certainly wasn't available in the Navy. And I just kind of took it from there.
Now, a lot of people say this, the time is a big time like excuse people come up with, like, oh, I don't have the time to put into the business. When you first started, can you share what were ways that you were able to find some time to work the business?
So it's funny you say that. With the first company that I was in the Navy, and I was on leave. I think I was actually in between duty stations, so I had quite a bit of time off. I was headed to a short 6-week school before I went overseas. And I recruited 2 of my buddies into this business in a couple of weeks, Navy buddies. And then they shipped me off to Cuba, and I couldn't do the business in Cuba. So I'm like, okay, I'm done. And my upline was absolutely no help. I was like, why don't you keep building my business for me while I'm gone? And it doesn't work that way. So anyway, sometimes you just can't do it. But the vision was still there. So over the course of the next 4 decades, I went from one to another. And yeah, time is what you make it. We all have 24 hours in a day. There's millionaires making money at this industry. Yeah. They don't have any more time than I have. But what they do have is leverage. And that's what this industry is really all about.
Also, I completely agree. And I want to go down that path, going into diving deeper on that leverage. But early on, you were in the Navy. You found pockets of time throughout your day. What were some things you did to generate opportunities for your business?
So, again, in the Navy, not a lot. I mean, it was funny because I was so excited about this opportunity that I was talking to everybody. I can remember, and of course, I was young at the time. I can remember actually taking a clipboard and a notepad and going to a mall and pretending to do a survey just to get contact information. I wouldn't do that in my older adult years at all. I wouldn't even think of doing that. But it was actually kind of fun getting to meet people, asking them mainly were they open to income opportunities. But sometimes you just kind of go out there and do something unique. So time-wise, just whenever I had a moment, I would go out and do something like that.
I like that. You're talking to different people. Yeah, you're surveying people in the pool in the mall, and maybe someone watching might even pick up on this and actually implement it. And if you do, definitely come back and share your results, because the more that you're talking to others, you're going to have those success rate is going to be pretty good if you're talking and not just pitching your product and service right off the bat, but getting to know somebody. If in a survey type of way, yeah, you're just asking questions, which you should be, and then letting them speak. And when that's happening, then you sit back and learn. And if there's an opportunity that your product or service will fill, that's where then you would present that. I think that a lot of people do that in reverse. They always present in the beginning instead of getting to know people.
They do. And then that just 9 times out of 10, that's just going to turn the person off that you're talking to. They're not interested in being pitched some product, anything, product, service, whatever. Nobody likes to be sold anything.
Right.
They like to buy, but they don't like to be sold.
Yeah. And a lot of people in the sales profession go into network marketing and they're not successful because they'll sell a whole lot of product or service, but nobody will. And then it goes back to that word you used earlier. They don't leverage other individuals, other human beings and if you make and teach and help duplicate, now you have multiple people like you that you're going to be able to, if you can sell 10, whatever, and they sell 10 and they sell 10, now you exponentially grow and you're leveraging other people to do work as well.
Exactly. And you can't be too good at a salesman. If you're too good at it, then the people that you pitched the opportunity to will say, I can't do that. But if you come up with an easy, simple, duplicatable system and you can teach them, then they can teach others. And that's how you're leveraging your time.
Now, at this point in your career, are you doing a lot of the teaching on Zoom, on phone calls, on video calls? Can you talk about that?
Just about everything is on Zoom. Facebook chats, group chats, stuff like that. Our team will get together and bounce ideas back and forth. But the more formal training is all Zoom calls. I mean, we're global, so it's not like we can get together at the local hotel. We don't even have hotel meetings anymore. I've done those in past opportunities. But that's one thing about network marketing is the whole social aspect of it. 80% of the people, I think I've heard, 80% of the people that join a network marketing company really don't do any sales. They're just there for the social aspect of it. And that's okay. As leaders, we just got to let them do their thing. If that's what they want to do, they want to buy and use products or services, maybe sell one here and there, that's fine. We let them do that. But that's the attraction of network marketing is the social aspect.
And I agree with you. You're not going to be able to make everybody do what they need to do to make the team successful. So some people go in with different mindset. They don't realize that, and I love it. I see a network marketing insider. It's called work. You have to work your business. It's not just paying, or if some are free, some are $50 a month, some are $100 a month, some are a couple thousand a month, depending on whatever you're involved in. You need to work. And what are some skills that you've learned over the last 40 plus years in this business that you should be utilizing to become more successful with your business?
So there's a couple of keys that I've learned over the years. First and foremost, you've got to have a why. You've got to have a driving reason to why you want to build this business. Now, if you're in here just to have fun and to socialize, that's fine. But if you've got a need to build a business, to generate an income, whether it's just for you, if you want to generate an income for your family, outside your immediate household, the community, whatever, if you have a why that's strong enough to do that, then a no's not going to scare you away. I used to hate no's. No's would terrify me. And that's what really kept me from building businesses. Somebody says no, and I was like Jim Rohn would say, the weed that shrivels up in the sun. He says no, and I just kind of go away. But Ray Thigpen has a great book. He's co-author, Go for No. I listen to audiobooks all the time. Ray Thigpen, one of my recent favorites. But yeah, the art of letting no's slide off your back and having that driving why, those are probably the two biggest things that lead to success in this industry.
No, I definitely agree. And yeah, because if you have, yeah, we all have rejection, and it's how you deal with it. And it's all up here on how you deal with that. I even have people today, they door-to-door sales in New Jersey. I mean, they knocking on my door, and these young kids, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not here to sell anything." I'm like, "Well, then what are you here to do?" You know, like they're there to survey. They're here to. Oh, I just wanted to share that I'm doing a solar project, or I'm here to share that I'm putting electrical or doing something at a neighbor's house, or I just put a driveway in. But notice though, they're sharing. I like to learn and listen. I'll give them man, you can knock on someone's door. I'll listen. I'll talk to you, and then I'll try to tell you how you make it. I can help you out. Maybe you get involved with network marketing, do insurance, whatever. But it's important to share on a consistent basis. You do a lot of video, Ray. I definitely applaud you for doing that. What got you into doing video?
So I've just heard that videos is the best way to promote your product, service, whatever. And I'll start a video with something going to play pickleball or whatever, and then I'll throw something at the end about building my business. And typically I'll just ask, if you're interested, if you're looking to make a little extra income, let me know. I'll be glad to give you some information. Again, I'm not here to convince anybody. I'll give them the information all day long. And I've learned that if they say no, they're not saying no to me. They're saying no to that opportunity. Maybe it's just not the right time for them. Maybe they have absolutely no interest. That's okay. It also gives me more time to go find somebody else that might be interested. So yeah, the videos help a lot with that. Honestly, I'm not doing as many as I probably should be doing. But I'm learning the platforms. I just got started on TikTok, and I'm already finding out those 30-second clips on TikTok go crazy. When I see 600 views in a video in 24 hours, I'm like, I've never seen that on Facebook Reels. So yeah, you got to learn the different platforms.
Yes, you bring it up. Facebook, I love and abuse. I have used and abused for years. But the algorithm is changing constantly. If you don't keep up with it, it's going to change. Different platforms are different things. LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You got to make sure you are involved with those. But yes, a lot of people see different things with TikTok because it's a little bit newer. So yeah, if you're putting yourself out there, it's shorter. It allows you to take it to the next level. And I've seen it do lots of great things when you provide value. Do a podcast like what we're doing here, doing some content videos, but sharing. And that's what people learn about you. They're going to know you, like you, and trust you because you're going to be consistent with it. And that's what I'm glad I saw you're doing, which is fantastic.
Yeah. And again, it's expanding that comfort zone. Videos are difficult for most people to get started on. Once you get started, it's not so bad. But that whole phrase, there's no money inside your comfort zone is so true. If you gradually expand, you don't have to expand your comfort zone to cover the whole world all in one day. Just do little bits here and there. And the more you do, the more comfortable you get, and the more you can do, and the more comfortable you can get.
And I like, Ray's got this niche. He's into pickleball. Most popular sport going right now, I've seen. And I'm sure you're able to utilize and leverage that game activity to the people that you know to get opportunities, conversations, to lead to business because you're playing a game and keeping yourself healthy.
I do. And it's funny because pickleball, well, I really got involved in pickleball about 3 years ago. My wife and I sold our house and everything we owned and moved into our RV and hit the road full time and traveled the country. And I picked up pickleball in Florida and Arizona and really loved the sport. And then when I moved back home here in North Carolina a little over a year ago, there was a group that had started playing that didn't really know all of the ins and outs. And I wanted to start teaching more. So I became a certified pickleball instructor. And then I found out that I have a passion for teaching almost as much as my passion for playing. And then of course that also goes right back into network marketing. It's learn, practice, and teach, I think is how Jim Rohn puts it, right? So it all applies. And yeah, I've had the way I actually got started in this last venture is I was following a young professional female pickleball player who put a post on Facebook one day and said, "Hey, I've just started this new program, this new venture, and if you have any interest, let me know." And that started down the line, and that's where we are today. So yeah, it's pickleball builds social skills as well as physical skills. I lost your audio. Is it me?
Here we go.
There
How
we
long
go.
does
Okay.
it- How long does a pickleball match last? Is it usually an hour, 2 hours? Is there
So one game is, in most tournaments, one game's to 11 points by one. A game will last anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 or 30 minutes. Depends on obviously how skillful each side is. For a tournament format, it's usually the best 2 out of 3. So you could go an hour for a match, but it's not bad. Now, yesterday I played 3.5 hours against some higher level players. My Fitbit said I did just over 8 miles.
Wow.
And so I was worn out. Some people say, "Oh, it's an old folks game. There's nothing to it." But I burned 2,300 calories in 3.5 hours, and yeah, it's definitely a real sport.
It's been around for a long time. I'm a phys ed teacher for 23 years, and it's been around for a long time, but it's real popular because they say, oh, it's not as big as tennis, like as far as you have to run as much. But man, those rallies or volleys, however you say, is super long. Some of them go for a long time because people are in that game. If you're playing doubles, it's even longer probably because they're keeping the court shorter because it's 2 people on the side. But it's constant motion. It's great.
It is when they're up at what we call the kitchen, the non-volley zone, 7 feet from each side of the net, and you're playing doubles, and they're just going back and forth, dinking is how we call it. I've seen rallies go 95 shots or more.
95
shots or more for 1 point. So yeah, it's and that can get, some people think that's boring. There's a lot of strategy behind it, but you see when they get into hand battles where it's going real fast back and forth, then that's where the speed comes into play. And that's one of the big differences between pickleball and tennis.
I liked what you said earlier about learning, practicing, and then sharing. I think those are the 3 terms you used. And everyone should be in that mindset as learning, taking each moment, each day, learning, picking up some new skills. I went to college. You learn from whatever you learn in college, but you kind of always pick up new skills as you age. And I think it's a muscle up here, guys. So if you're not moving around playing pickleball, you got to read, you got to listen to certain podcasts or videos so that you can pick up new skills, so you can learn and then share that. People are, oh, what am I going to talk about in video? Well, anything you learned recently, someone else don't know, and you can teach them, and that's providing value instead of you just pitching product and service.
Yeah, exactly. And Ray Thigpen is really big on doing video content and teaches that. And he's like, it doesn't have to be your own original content. It's like most of the stuff he does isn't his original stuff. He reads about it. He'll do a Google search or whatever. Now he'll give credit where credit's due. He doesn't claim it to be his own information, but you don't even have to say whose it is. You can say, oh, I read in a book yesterday, this, and this, and just put it out there. That's sharing what you're learning.
There's Legendary Marketer is a great, Dave Sharp created a 5-day challenge. Talks about affiliate marketing, content and course creation, masterminds, and digital courses. And it teaches you going through and it costs $5. 5-day challenge, $5, and you'll get skills. Then if you want to, that's the cheaper round or whatever. You can pay and get higher education. There are people that won't pay $5 to learn skills that is out there. And I put it on my website for those that want to get involved with it. I went through it. It's powerful. Well, what else you got? Because other people have information that they have been using that maybe they have a different twist to it, and it clicks with you. Now it'll work your business in a different light.
Right, right. They say knowledge is power, but then the other side of that is knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is the power. So I think that came from Think and Grow Rich or something. But yeah, you've got to use what you learn. I
totally agree, and it's taking action. I'm always telling people, start taking more action. Don't just listen. I bust in my insurance hat when I'm doing that and talking to realtors and mortgage people, and I'm like, you have to make sure you go to a webinar, you use that skill or new technique or new way of going about your business. If you're in network marketing, same thing. You might listen to something, might it now resonates properly with you, and then just okay, now go do it. Oh, I never did video. Start doing some video. Start doing lives every day. That'll help your algorithm. You'll get more reach. Well, I don't have any new. I don't have a lot of followers. A lot of people will say. You start with one, and you nurture that one, and then you continue. People will start following what you do. It takes time. It's not overnight success. We're all going to get in network marketing either. That's a lot of people think you're going to make all this money by buying a simple course. You're going to if you follow the protocol, but people don't want to follow the protocol.
No, you've got to put that work in up front. And then towards the end, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, if you've been putting the work in at the front side, then that's when all that leverage kicks in. And then you can be taking all those vacations and still earning that residual and passive income while the team is building all that money. But if you don't put the work out front, you're not going to get the results in the back.
Yeah, like Ray said, you got to build a solid team of leaders and builders. You might have the ones that just come and go. They might have that shiny object syndrome I always talk about. Some other new products coming out. Oh, this is it. Everyone's going to make and get rich. No, if you sit back, try to find the ones that are just like you. They're hungry. They have their why. And then build with them. And then teach them how to find them and replicate and duplicate them. It's a process. You do it slowly. You can go. I have different things I've learned recently. Own your life. You can have it multiplies. You want to have 2 people, and if you can get 4 people, then you teach those 4 people to get 2 people, and exponentially, you're going to have a lot more people in your downline. And if your upline is leaving you, it's okay because you're still going to have people that are going to be leading and building for you, and that's where your passive income won't drop off.
Yep. Yeah, you have to teach to teach. A lot, and depending on the different incentive plans or comp plans or whatever you are out there, some let you go wide, some you go deep, but they say, what is it? You go wide for longevity, and you keep building while your downline is building, because there are going to be people that drop out. It just happens. The shiny object syndrome happens in all industries, and it's not just the lower people, the people that have been around not doing anything. Leaders will leave a company to go to another company, and they'll take their whole team with them. Ray Thigpen talks about that, but he stays so busy. He's like, I just put in a new goal that month. I'm going to recruit more people than I've ever recruited before, and that makes up the difference in the long run from so he doesn't feel that pain. But you've got to stay engaged all the time. You can't just sit around and wait for somebody else to do the work for you. That's not networking.
Exactly. Now, I see in your background, Shopley, Tony Lucero, I believe.
Yes, I know that.
How do you know him?
So I know him from some of the groups. I almost think he's on our team, because I actually got started with Shopley real soon after. We're still pre-launched. Don't want to talk a whole lot about the company, right? But yeah, it's there's a lot of people that are involved that have been involved in big things in the past. Tony is one of the guys that I don't have a lot of personal contact with, but I do know of his name in the group. In fact, he's in a separate group from where I am. You know, different teams build and within the same companies, but we're all kind of intertwined right now because the company is so new.
I know from another platform, and he actually will be a guest in a future episode. So I definitely saw Shopley, definitely good guy. Something that a lot of people are afraid to do what you're doing as far as being a guest, because a lot of times I'll ask and they'll say, "Oh, I don't have the knowledge yet." You have the knowledge, and you were gracious to come and drop value for us today. But you had some hesitation. Can you talk about the hesitation you had coming on, and then how you felt going through being on a podcast?
Yeah, so this is my first podcast. Again, stretching that comfort zone. And I didn't really know anything about you for that matter.
Yep.
But I like I do when I look at any opportunity, I did my due diligence. I went to your YouTube channel. I watched some videos. I'm like, okay, so we're not talking specific companies, because I'm really not at that point with Shopley now where we have anything concrete and specific that we can share. But it's not about that. So I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I've got 44 years of experience in the industry. I can tell you that over 44 years, I haven't made a ton of money. I've learned a lot. So Jim Rohn said, if you want to become successful, surround yourself with successful people and do what they do. On the opposite end of that spectrum is you can surround yourself with unsuccessful people and don't do what they do. Right.
Yes.
So kind of don't do what I've done for the past 44 years. When I got to this point, when I saw Shopley, I said, this is it. I'm 65 years old. I'm going all in. This could be my last hurrah. And that's it. I've started building an international team. It's just like we've got a simple cut and paste system that works. And we're all excited about it. So that's how we're going there.
No, it's definitely a fantastic time to meet you. Yes, I use social media to network and grow, and I'm building myself. And I'm glad that you took it upon yourself to do due diligence and look at some videos that are on the website or YouTube channel, et cetera, and learn. That's what the goal is. And take a chance, take a risk, and be outside your comfort zone. I'm always sharing with people, you never know what's going to happen. And I always have a call, find out, how people are on, in this conversation, if they take me up on it. And then you killed it, man. You did a fantastic job. I want to, thank you again for joining us and giving those nuggets of information that people can take action and actually see some success from their work if they actually choose to do that. And but I hope you continue growing. I hope your success with Shopley goes as planned. And this is just the beginning of our relationship. So I appreciate you being here, Ray.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Sean. Again, I appreciate the opportunity and the invite. Helped me get out of that comfort zone. And I hope that your audience picked up a few nuggets along the way, too, so that helped them on that journey. The network, this industry is just the greatest industry in the world. And there's just some things about it that people can, if they can take away from our conversation, that they can see the positive attitude that we have and the excitement that we have about it. And that'll probably help a lot.
Definitely check out the description, guys. Look at the, his contact information, reach out to him, have a conversation, see what he's doing. If it's a fit, we're all here to grow. Likewise, I have my information there. Definitely reach out. Love to have you on as a guest if you are in the network marketing business. And as always, I'm here to help, motivate, and inspire. Ray, have an awesome day. Stick around for one moment, everyone else. We hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
Thanks, Sean.